हॅलो मित्रांनो. ओके, वी आर लाईव्ह. हॅलो मित्रांनो. सो या स्ट्रीम मध्ये आपण थोडक्यात NFT विषयी अभ्यास करू. NFT मिंट कसा करायचा, काय वेगवेगळे मार्ग आहेत आणि एक जनरल रिसर्च ऍक्च्युली. सो जे जे आता मी शिकत जातोय या स्ट्रीम मध्ये व्हॉट आय डू इज की मी स्वतः वेगवेगळे व्हिडिओज बघेल, मे बी फास्ट फॉरवर्ड करून किंवा काही आर्टिकल्स वाचेल आणि जे जे गोष्टी नवीन समजतायत ते आता मी डॉक्युमेंट करेल या एका पीपीटी मध्ये. पण सर्वप्रथम जर तुम्ही नवीन असाल एनएफटी स्पेस मध्ये आणि प्रोबॅबली प्रोग्रामरही नसाल, जर प्रोबॅबली तुम्ही व्हिडिओ बघत असाल, जरुरी नाही तुम्ही प्रोग्रामर असाल, तर सिंपल वे आहे की ओपन सी नावाची वेबसाईट आहे. ऑपन सी वेबसाईटवर तुम्ही सरळ सरळ तुमचा एक फोटो म्हणेल जो तुम्हाला NFT म्हणून अपलोड करायचा आहे, तो फोटो किंवा ऑडिओ क्लिप, म्युझिक, जे काही असेल आर्टवर्क, ते तुम्ही सरळ अपलोड करू शकतात आणि कोडिंगची काही गरज नाही पडणार. दॅट इज द इझिएस्ट वे. सो इझी वे इज ओपन सी. डायरेक्ट अपलोड फोटो, व्हिडिओ, आर्ट. पण ओपन सी मध्ये कॅच असा आहे आणि आपल्याला हे प्रोग्रामिंगच्या माध्यमातून सुद्धा ही कॅच सिच्युएशन येईल, ज्याच्याविषयी आत्ता अजून बोलण्यात काही तथ्य नाहीये. थोड्या वेळाने ते गोष्ट क्लिअर होईल. पण प्रोग्रामिंग मध्ये बघताना ओपन सी हे इथेरियम ऍक्सेप्ट करतं आणि इथेरियम हे तुम्ही इथेरियम नेटवर्कवर वापरू शकतात. इथ ही करन्सी झाली, इथेरियम चेन समजू फॉर एक्झाम्पल. सो इथ करन्सी झाली. सो इथ करन्सी तुम्हाला इथेरियम चेनवर लागेल किंवा इथ करन्सी तुम्हाला पॉलिगॉन चेनवर लागेल. या दोघांपैकी कुठे सुद्धा इथ असेल तरी सुद्धा तुम्ही हे ओपन सी वर NFT अपलोड करू शकतात. तर प्रॉब्लेम असा आहे की सर्वप्रथम तुम्हाला ओपन सीच्या इथ अकाउंट मध्ये इथेरियमच्या अकाउंट मध्ये इथेरियमच्या चेनवर इथ लागेल. सो सपोज तुमच्याकडे बायनान्स किंवा कोणत्या तरी वेगळ्या सेंट्रलाइज्ड एक्सचेंज वरून तुम्ही इथेरियम विकत घेतला असेल, तो आधी आपल्याला ट्रान्सफर करावा लागेल ओपन सी वर आणि मग ओपन सी मध्ये आपल्याला ब्रिज करावा लागेल तो की इथेरियमच्या नेटवर्क वरून आपल्याला तो पॉलिगॉनवर शिफ्ट करावा लागेल. पॉलिगॉनवर का शिफ्ट करायचा? कारण पुढे जे बाईंग सेलिंग होईल तिथे गॅस फी एकदम निग्लिजिबल राहील. इथेरियम मध्ये गॅस फी आणि मिंटिंग फीज वे हाय. तर पॉलिगॉन मध्ये कन्व्हर्ट केल्यानंतर गोष्टी सोप्या आहेत, पण इव्हन पॉलिगॉन मध्ये कन्व्हर्ट करेपर्यंत देर इज स्टील अ फी. लाईक बायनान्स पासून इथेरियम मध्ये विड्रॉलला एक मला वाटतं 0.01 इथ जाईल. सो 0.01 इथ इज लाईक 1% इथ. आजची इथची किंमत जर $2800 असेल तर $28 आपल्याला साधारण लागेल आणि ब्रिजिंगला सुद्धा एक सर्टन फी लागेल. सो ही सुद्धा कशी वाचवता येईल ते बघावं लागेल. बट स्टील दॅट इज द इझिएस्ट वे की ओपन सी मध्ये आपण सरळ फोटो अपलोड करायचा, इथेरियम हा इथेरियम वर आणायचा आणि नंतर इथ वरून पॉलिगॉन मध्ये इथ आणायचा आणि पॉलिगॉन आणि त्याच्यानंतर मिंट करायचा. दॅट इज द इझिएस्ट वे. सो चॅलेंजेस: withdrawal of ETH from Binance, WazirX, centralized exchange to OpenSea. Costs about 0.01 ETH. And the second challenge is bridging ETH on Ethereum to ETH on Polygon. So one time gas fee. Can't say how much. सो हा पण एक स्टडी करायचा आहे आणि प्रोबॅबली याच स्ट्रीम मध्ये किंवा पुढच्या स्ट्रीम मध्ये आपण हे बघू की एक्झॅक्टली 0.01 लागते आहे का आणि एक्झॅक्टली वन टाइम गॅस फी किती लागते. पण त्याच्यानंतर इट्स इझी. आणि द अदर क्वेश्चन दॅट आय हॅव इज की हे NFT सो आपण ओपन सी वर लॉन्च करू तेव्हा आपण एक कलेक्शन म्हणून लॉन्च करू शकतो. लाईक फॉर एक्झाम्पल 100 फोटोचं एक कलेक्शन आपण म्हणू शकतो किंवा इथे आपल्याला हे कलेक्शन दिसतील वेगवेगळे. लेट्स सी, हे सगळे कलेक्शन झाले. आता विमेन अँड वेपन्स बघू आपण. सो एक कलेक्शन झालं आणि या कलेक्शन मध्ये 1000, 2000, 4000 NFT असू शकतील डिपेंडिंग ऑन. Okay, this is not the collection. Let's go to some other collection. uh, 1 second. ओके, टाइमने त्यांचं जे आर्टिकल आणलं त्याच्यावर त्यांनी NFT आणलाय. ओके, विटालिक बुटेरिन जो इथेरियमचा फाउंडर आहे, को फाउंडर, त्याच्यावर एक मेन आर्टिकल टाइमच्या आताच्या इश्यू मध्ये लिहिलं गेलं आणि द होल टाइम मॅगझिन इज डेडिकेटेड ट्रेड करतायत अपॅरेंटली. ओके, क्वांटिटी एवढे त्या मिंट केल्या गेल्यात कोणीतरी, तो 2000 क्वांटिटी मिंट केल्या कोणीतरी आणि त्यातली एक विकत गेली आतापर्यंत. नॉट अ बिग डील ॲज सच, बट आय डोंट नो की याला का वरती वेटेज मिळाले. 3 ओनर्स, आय थिंक इट जस्ट समबडी जस्ट ट्राईंग टू मेक क्विक मनी इज माय इनिशियल रिॲक्शन टू दिस. आणि तरी सुद्धा ओपन सीने ते त्यांच्या होम पेजवर ट्रेंडिंग मध्ये ठेवलंय, विच इज सरप्राइजिंग. एनिवे, या, सो निओ टोकियो एक गेम आहे. सो लेट्स सी, हे कलेक्शन प्रोबॅबली असेल इथे, विल सी. कलेक्शनच्या मुद्द्यावर आपण का आलो, कारण या, सो बेसिकली एका कलेक्शनमध्ये तुम्ही 100-200 जे काही तुम्हाला जेवढे अपलोड करायचे तेवढे करू शकतात. आता असं आहे गोष्ट की एका पर्टिक्युलर कलेक्शनचे जे 100 लोकांनी सपोज 100 NFT विकत घेतले, तर आपण ते ॲक्सेस बॅच म्हणून वापरू शकू का? दॅट इज अ क्वेश्चन. की समबडी म्हणे मेटामास्क मधून ते व्हॅलिडेट होईल ॲज अ ऑथेंटिकेशन की या व्यक्तीने हे ओन केलंय, त्याच्यामुळे त्याला ती वेबसाईट ॲक्सेस होईल किंवा एक सर्टन बॅच होईल. तर प्रोग्रामॅटिक वेमध्ये हे पॉसिबल आहे, पण ओपन सी मध्ये हे पॉसिबल आहे की नाही, दॅट इज द क्वेश्चन दॅट आय हॅव, की ज्याचा सुद्धा एक रिसर्च करायचा आहे. सो दॅट्स अनदर थिंग. Okay, apparently spam commands add user on this user's message will be hidden, and let's also report pornography report. All right, so that is the question. So can OpenSea collection be used as can NFT collection on OpenSea be used as a badge or authentication to unlock a certain website or content? Alright, so याचा आपल्याला रिसर्च करायचा आहे. So that was the easy way. Let's move on. Difficult way. Programming. It's not that difficult, but for the compared to easy way. Programming. आता इथे दोन ऑप्शन्स आहेत. एक इज लाईक रेडी टेम्पलेट और रेडीमेड सोल्युशन्स, की ज्याच्यामध्ये प्रोग्राम असतो पण आपल्याला थोडे थोडे चेंजेस करायचे असतात आणि दुसरं आहे की रेडी कोड बट मॅन्युअल डिप्लॉयमेंट. or customize the code but manual deployment. आणि या दोन्ही केसेसमध्ये एकतर ERC 721 किंवा ERC 1155 यूज होईल. ERC 721 मध्ये एक युनिक NFT करू शकतो आणि 1155 मध्ये एकाच्या मल्टिपल कॉपीज करता येतात. सो जर युनिक असेल तर 721, मल्टिपल कॉपीज असतील तर 1155 वापरायचा आहे. कोड सगळ्यांचा सेमच आहे, त्याच्यामुळे कोड इज नॉट अ बिग डील. पण डिप्लॉय करताना बऱ्याच दुसऱ्या गोष्टी बघाव्या लागतात, नेटवर्क किंवा इनफॅक्ट त्या मलाही आता माहीत नाही ऑफ द टॉप ऑफ माय माइंड. आणि हा सगळा रिसर्च एक प्रकारे आपण करू आता पुढच्या काही मिनिटांमध्ये, वेळेमध्ये. आणि ही सगळी ॲक्टिव्हिटी ॲक्च्युली, सो वन ऑफ माय फ्रेंड इज ड्रॉपिंग अ म्युझिक व्हिडिओ. आणि बहुतेक आम्ही, द प्लॅन इज की या म्युझिक व्हिडिओला NFT कन्वर्ट करून सेलिंग इट ॲज NFT, सो दॅट हे जे इंडिया आर्टिस्ट आहेत ज्यांनी स्वतःच्या विदाउट एनी सपोर्ट ॲक्च्युली पूर्ण एंड टू एंड व्हिडिओ आणि म्युझिक प्रोडक्शन आणि व्हिडिओ प्रोडक्शन केलं आहे, तर त्यांना सपोर्ट होईल. दॅट्स द गोल. सो विल जस्ट वॉच फ्यू व्हिडिओज. आय मीन दॅट्स द बेस्ट वे टू लर्न दिस डेज, की फक्त यूट्यूबवर व्हिडिओज बघूनही बऱ्याच गोष्टी शिकता येतात. यूट्यूब इज ऑलमोस्ट लाईक अ स्कूल नाव. तर
Hey everybody.
we'll just spend some time on
Hey
watching
guys,
videos.
this is Ed Rowe. Today we're going to
सो मी आधी हे काही सर्च केले होते, पण दिस वॉज अबाउट कॉमन ब्लॉकचेन रिलेटेड प्रोजेक्ट्स. आता आपल्याला NFTचेच
in this
प्रोजेक्ट्स
video
बघायचे.
we're going
सो दिस इज प्रिटी लॉंग. छोटे छोटे व्हिडिओज बघू आपण. या सो लेट जस्ट कीप ऑल दॅट. हे मला नंतर प्रायमली बघेल मी केव्हा तरी. मिंटिंग अँड NFT विथ सॉलिडिटी. अँड तो प्रश्न पण बघू, कॅन OpenSea NFT collection be used as a badge or authentication? आणि अनदर क्वेश्चन इज की आपण स्वतः लॉन्च केला प्रोग्राम मधून, तर तेव्हा बेसिकली असं होतं की आपल्या वेबसाईटवर मिंटचं बटन येईल आणि आपल्या वेबसाईटवर कोणीतरी जेव्हा मिंटवर क्लिक करेल तेव्हा जेव्हा आपण म्हणजे कॉन्ट्रॅक्ट डिप्लॉय करू त्याच्यानंतर आपण वेबसाईट लिहू आणि वेबसाईटमध्ये जर आपण मिंट बटन ठेवणार, एक बटनवर क्लिक केलं की मेटामास्क मधून तेवढी अमाऊंट तो विचारेल की तुम्हाला एवढे अमाऊंट जाईल अकाउंटमधून, चालेल का. तुम्ही जर ते अप्रूव्ह केलं तर ती अमाऊंट कॉन्ट्रॅक्टला ट्रान्सफर होईल. आणि त्या कॉन्ट्रॅक्ट ज्या इमेजवर तुम्ही मिंट म्हटलंय किंवा जे काय लॉजिक असेल, सपोज रॅन्डम लॉजिक असेल की 1000 पैकी रॅन्डम इमेज मिळेल किंवा स्पेसिफिक असेल, ही गोष्ट आपल्या स्वतःच्या वेबसाईटवर आणि कसं आपण इम्प्लिमेंट करू त्याच्यावर डिपेंड आहे. पण मिंट केल्यानंतर ते अमाऊंट डिडक्ट होईल आणि तुम्हाला ते NFT मिळेल. आणि ते मिळेल म्हणजे तुम्हाला ते तुमच्या इथरियमच्या इथर स्कॅनमध्ये किंवा जी चेन आपण वापरतोय त्या चेनमध्ये आपल्याला तो NFT दिसेल. पण तिथून OpenSea मध्ये कसा आणायचा हा एक प्रश्न आहे. सो आय जॉट इट डाऊन ॲज वेल क्वेश्चन. सो आय जस्ट मेक वन सेपरेट स्लाइड. Control M is the shortcut. Questions using programming method. How to get the NFT or collection listed on OpenSea. The other is, can OpenSea collection be used as a badge authentication auth when minted from OpenSea only itself. ठीक आहे. सो मिंटिंग अन NFT आणि डिप्लॉय सिंपल NFT इन Solidity. Okay. Yeah, Patrick Collins से बराबर की वीडियो.
Now, if you haven't watched the last video on understanding what an NFT is and why we want to build one of these things, definitely go check that out first. Link in the description. It's a fun video. Go watch it. In this video, we're going to be deploying a simple NFT, and then after we learn how to build a simple NFT, we're going to build an advanced NFT that we can build really powerful NFTs and entire systems around. Other than that, let's jump into it. We want to go even deeper and look at clone this. If you're new to just tricks, I'm going to start with a simple collectible.sol. This is just a really simple ERC721 contract. And it's going to be as simple as it gets. And you know what? We're just going to act.
Yeah, so important. याचे मी just screenshot काढून घेतोय. Let's see screenshot and we'll save it to our slides. आणि इथे आपण याची लिंक सुद्धा टाकू. This is about 1.18 मिनिटाला. So सो बेसिकली हा कोड आहे आणि बऱ्यापैकी म्हणजे विदाउट गोईंग थ्रू ऑल ऑफ दिस इथे नाव चेंज करावं लागणार की सपोज 720 म्हणजे एकच NFT मिंट करतोय आपण इंडिव्हिज्युअल. तर डोजी त्याचं नाव आहे आणि डॉग हा त्याचा सिम्बॉल दिलाय. बाकी काहीच नाही केलं यामध्ये. आय थिंक बाकी सगळा कोड सेम आहे. पण आता हा व्यक्ती स्टार्ट पासून सांगेल. आणि आपल्याला हे बघायची गरज नाही. आता आपल्याला फक्त हाय लेवल अंडरस्टँडिंग हवी आहे. आपल्याला एकदम स्टेप बाय स्टेप डिटेल्ड सोल्युशन नको आहे. आपल्याला आधी हाय लेवल अंडरस्टँडिंग हवी आहे की सगळे पीसेस बघायचे आपल्याला की कोणकोणते मेजर पीसेस आहेत. तर फर्स्ट पीस इज दिस कोड आणि हा 721 साठी आहे. सो लेट्स जस्ट गो थ्रू थोडंसं पुढे करून. टोकन काउंटर काय करतं बघून घेऊया.
We're going to call this datum is where all that and the symbol is going to be dog. So when we deploy this, actually, if you looked on like Etherscan, for example, the name of this token would be doggy and the symbol would be dog. So that is how you define what the names are. Now what we're also going to do is we're also going to create a token.
So Etherscan एकदा चेक करून घेऊ. तो म्हणतो Etherscan मध्ये डॉगी आणि डॉग नावाने येईल. पण हा मे बी डिप्लॉय केलाही नसेल त्याच्यामुळे आपल्याला माहित नाही की ऍक्च्युअल मध्ये आहे की नाही. सो आपण डॉगी सर्च करून बघू काय येतं. डॉगीला काही नाही. डॉग ओके. इथे आपल्याला दिसतंय की हे नाव आणि हे NFTचं सिम्बॉल आणि नाव. सो हा सिम्बॉल झाला आणि तो नाव झाला. ऑलराईट. सो इथे दिसतंय की टोकन नेम इज दिस and token symbol is where is it? Here. इथे दिसतंय डॉग किंवा बऱ्याच वेगळ्या ठिकाणी असेल. ऍक्च्युली इथे पण दिसतंय. हा दॅट इज द टोटल सप्लाय करन्सी आणि हे प्रॉब्ली एकच असेल. 721 असताना एकच असेल. बट दिस इज अ बिट डिफरंट. याचे ऑलरेडी बरेच सारे टोकन्स आहेत. सो आय डोंट नो इफ दिस इज ऍक्च्युअल NFT नावामुळे. ओके NFTच आहे ऍक्च्युअली हे. सो यांनी बरेच मिंट केलेत ऍक्च्युअली आणि एवढे का केलेत आणि बऱ्यापैकी फास्ट यूज आहे. सो लेट्स सी डोजे NFT काय आहे. The Doge NFT price today. Let's see. Fractional art. Okay. So Doge NFT is also a token. Like it's not token. It's not NFT then. This is a currency then. It's a token then. I mean, it's not like non-fungible token. It's just a fungible token. I think it's not NFT. The Doge NFT 1 out of 1 and you will receive dog 1 out of Doge. ओके. सो इथे आपण देतो याचा अर्थ आपण डॉग नावाची करन्सी यूज करतोय ऍक्च्युअली. सो व्हॉट आय डोंट अंडरस्टँड राईट नाव इज Etherscan मध्ये त्यांनी इथर स्कॅन मध्ये त्यांनी NFT का म्हटलंय याला, बिकॉज दिस इज क्लिअरली नॉट an NFT. Balance of reserved token supply. Yeah, I mean this does not look like a NFT. This is actually a normal token. Anyway, so we were somewhere here. No, we are here.
So the OpenZeppelin docs, or excuse me, a token ID. The OpenZeppelin docs use a counter. I'm just going to use the token ID for simplicity. You're more than welcome to use the counter. We're going to call this token counter, right? Because we want to count all of our tokens. Every time we create a new one, we want to iterate by one more.
ओके, सो बेसिकली इथे असं होतं की प्रत्येक सो सपोज आपल्याला 2 मिंट करायचे आहेत सेमचे, 2 सेपरेट मिंट करायचे आहेत. आय मीन सेम पण तुम्ही मिंट करू शकतात, पण 2 वेगवेगळे कॉपीज तयार करायच्या आहेत 1 आणि 2. तर मग इथे आपण त्याने या टोकन काउंटरने ठरवतोय की आपण 721 चे 2 टोकन्स डिप्लॉय करतोय किंवा आहेत मार्केटमध्ये.
Token counter
प्लस प्लस
equals 0. We're going to initialize it to 0 at the start. So hey, you can actually look at it in here, and we can see this is what a sample token URI should return, right? Again, it has the name, the public function, and we're going to return. So speaking of which, we generate a new one. So we're going to have token counter here, and then the ERC721 from OpenZeppelin has some built-in functions, and these are going to what we're
create collectible default method.
We're going to take a, we're going to create a function called create collectible, and it's going to take a string memory token URI. Now, I'm not going to go over token URI right now, like I said, but for those of you who want to see like a good example of the token URI, definitely go over to this D&D, where in the scripts actually, there's this function called set token URI, where we made a function called set token URI, and we gave it this IPFS link, which we can actually look at it in here, and we can see this is what a sample token URI should return, right? Again, it has the name, description, the image, which is this right here, which is super cute, and then a whole bunch of attributes. And due to a little bit of duplicity, right, we actually had to put the attributes on chain and in this file, which is kind of annoying, but such is life. But this is what one looks like. So this counter in the top, whoever calls this of, you can even test this. So I have and opens, then you're good to go. You Zeppelin contracts, because again, this uses those OpenZeppelin to get it. You can just do, you need Python, you can do pip. So I have a couple of scripts that I've already written called deploy simple and create collectible. So it literally just deploys it and then creates it. So we can even run those. For those of you who are new to Brownie and you want to get it, you can just do, you need Python, you can do pip install. You can do pip install f Brownie. I can't spell install, but pip install what it says right there. Then you'll also need Ganache and OpenZeppelin contracts, because again, this uses those OpenZeppelin contracts. For those of you, again, new to Brownie, we do what's called the remapping. So even though we have to do npm to install it, we can actually remap them like this, so we can use those npm packages. Let's try it now. So we'll do Brownie. So this is the owner. So this is just getting a developer wallet, deploying it, and then create.
I mean, that was okay. Let's see a few more. Main using returning.
Hey guys, what's going on? This is Tavia back with another episode of the channel, and today we are going to see how to mint your own NFTs using your own smart contract. This is not being uploaded to OpenSea directly. This was with my own smart contract which I made it in
या एक्झॅक्टली. सो आपला हा प्रश्न होता की आपल्या स्वतःच्या प्रोग्रामिंग मधून आपण ओपन सी मध्ये लिस्ट कसं करू शकतो. दिस इज दॅट पार्ट.
Solidity. So in this tutorial I'll show you how to do exactly this. So first of all, you are required to have a wallet of some sort. I will recommend MetaMask wallet because we are using Web3 stuff, and MetaMask is just very good for integration in Web3, so it's better that you use MetaMask. And the second thing we need is we are going to use test network. We are not going to deploy it on Ethereum mainnet. So that's because we don't want to spend money on testing. We can just use a test network. So here we are using Ringkaby test network, and we need to use that because OpenSea just supports Ringkaby. There's no other way around. And the way to get these test ethers, you can just go ahead and you can just press buy, and you can just go to this link, and then you can just follow the steps and you can get some test ether. Okay, so now we need to open Remix ID. That's where we code along with the Solidity projects. So let's go ahead and search for Remix ID on Google, and it's a web-based ID. You don't need to install it. You can always use Visual Studio Code, but I prefer using Remix ID for Solidity because it's much more simpler to do it right here, and we can just deploy it with no problems. So just wait for it to load. Now you can see all of these things are loaded. There are many folders here, and you can just create new files which can be which are like separate smart contracts and which can be deployed on the Ethereum blockchain. So now let's create a new inside the folder. So I'll just call it like I already have SO program we want to work with, so we'll just say pragma. We need, which if you want to do something and create our contract. So basically to create a contract, we just, because now we have all of these things imported, we can just do it like this easily. First it is an ERC721 token, and next we want that this is an the main one, and then sorts, so everything. So I have these 4 packages which can help us make this thing. So you just need to paste this in. So let me just give you a brief thing. So OpenZeppelin is a name of package which has like smart contracts of all sorts. So ERC721 is the token type of NFTs. So basically you can just add a metadata to it, and you can just add total supplies, and basically it supports non-fungible token. So we need to add ERC721 enumerable so that we can keep track of how many tokens are made, and ERC721 URI storage so that we know that we can just add some metadata to it, so like images and other things if you want to. And then we have the main one, and then we have the safe math one, so that it can just say this is we must override some functions, and this is a known bug. I don't it applies safe math library to this, and that way it will be just way too easier. So if I just press save now, I still get an error. Oh, it's not use, it's using, sorry. Next, and let's go ahead and add like a mint price, so the minting price of the NFT. For now we are just going to keep it 0 because we just want to test things out. If you want, you can just increase it. So let's just set it, so it should be 0. You can just add anything you want, and it will just do its thing. We don't need to do anything here because this variable right here, mint price, is used by the classes, parent classes, so that it can change the price of the minting. So you don't need to worry about the logic here. You just need to set a variable. Contract is deployed. The first thing it does is create an ERC721 token, and this is actually a function. So I will just do this, and now here we need to pass 2 parameters. First string, we will just pass in a file with JSON, and it will be the basic metadata which will then be listed on OpenSea and other platforms. So now this should be a public function because we want this to be exposed, and this will also be a payable function. Just in case if you have a mint price, you just need to have this payable. So now we need to have a mint index. So basically this keeps tracks of all the minted NFTs till now. So we'll say uint 256 mint index. So we are just creating a new variable, mint index. A lot easier now. So we will just say safe mint, and this is also all of this total supply thing. It's provided to us by the parent classes. So you see all of these things are a lot easier now. Let us set token to give a semicolon, injected web3, and now it picked up Ribank 4. I'll just verify if I'm on RingKB. Perfect. And now I have the account set. Then this is important. This is actually set up to Open Zeppelin's package, but we need to choose Mint Terabyte, the one which we made. And now we need to press deploy. Now it will do its magic. It will ask for gas fee for deploying the smart contract in the test network. We'll press confirm. Now it's pending. We can also verify with MetaMask. It's pending transaction, and it will take some time. It won't take a lot of time. I mean, it will just complete in like 10 seconds or something, and then you can just find the deployed contracts in here. So let's wait for, okay, yeah, it's done. So you see here's the deployed contracts. So if you click this, you can see all of those functions, and you can just do your thing here. So basically now let's mint our first NFT using this. So the first thing we need to do is we need an image, right? So what is an NFT without you can't just visualize an NFT without the image, because most people know like NFTs and image. Of course it's like sounds and any document, but many people know NFTs as images. So let's just use images. So I'll just go ahead to post images. This is the website. So this is a free hosting for websites. I know you can use like something like some decentralized hosting platforms, but those don't seem to work for me for some reason, so I'm just using this. So let's go to Unsplash. So I'll just say pizza, maybe. It's completed. Another website which will actually JSON keeper. So JSON NFT on pizza, and this is the, and let's try to mint our first NFT. And now let's go back to our and this is the now you can just let's this should open MetaMask. Yeah, now it just, so we need to paste the string. You always use double quotes, and just paste this in, and let's try to mint. Let's see if this works. And now this should open MetaMask.
सो मिंट बटन क्लिक केलं की आपण हे फंक्शन कॉल करणार. आपल्या वेबसाईटवर एक मिंट बटन असेल, ते केलं की हे ओपन होईल, आणि याने फक्त आय थिंक अच्छा हां, कारण प्राइस हार्ड कोडेड केली असेल, जर आपला कोड असेल तर आपण प्राइस हार्ड कोड केलेली आहे, सो ती चेंज नाही होणार. या आय थिंक सेकंडरी मार्केटमध्ये चेंज होईल.
So yeah, now it just open MetaMask. You just need to pay the gas fees. Although the mint price is 0, but you still need to pay the gas fees. Let's wait for this. It's pending. Okay, it's done. Now we need to check the NFT on OpenSea, and here's the thing. It takes some time to list it on OpenSea. If you just search the address, it will take some time.
Okay, OpenSea
It's not that fast, so you might need to wait some time and just try to refresh or something. Sometimes it's just instant and sometimes it's not, and the way to force refresh it is like you can just there's a link on OpenSea's website, which is the API. Let us search it. So OpenSea testnet force refresh. So here you can see viewing your items is this yeah, now here you can see this thing. So we need to copy this URL, and let's go to here and let's paste this. Now we need to change the contract address, so let's go back to remix ID, copy this contract address, paste this in here, and the token ID is 0 because it was our first NFT. So let's 0, and let's press enter. Now this should yeah, now it is working. It says the elite pizza from White Minter, and the best pizza NFT you can ever find. And if you can go here, and if you go to your profile, you can see this NFT right here because you minted it. Yeah, this is the NFT here, right here.
Yeah.
And you can of course just sell it and do all of the things you want.
Is this audible? Is this audible?
This was a very short tutorial, and it was not like a huge programming tutorial or something, but I want to make a tutorial where we include this smart contract in something like next. index.js, and then we can just make a entire website with just from white image, paste this in here. Now this should
सो बेसिकली एकदा आपण मिंट केला NFT इथेरियम चेनवर तर तो ऑटोमॅटिकली ओपन सी मध्ये दिसेल. सो वी डोंट हॅव टू डू एनिथिंग. आणि प्रोजेक्टचं नाव आणि हे सॉरी हे डिस्क्रिप्शन प्रमाणे NFT येईल आणि हे प्रोजेक्टचं नाव आणि तो सिम्बॉल कुठेतरी आला असेल, जो सिम्बॉल आपण इथे यूज केला होता कुठेतरी. सो एनिवे दॅट्स प्रिटी स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड. सो आपल्याला या YTM, सो आपल्याला याचं उत्तर तर मिळालं आहे की दॅट हॅपन्स ऑन इट्स ओन. सो हॅपन्स ऑन इट्स ओन, that is the answer. But then the other question is what about polygon? I think सेमच असायला पाहिजे की जर पॉलिगॉन मध्ये मिंट केला, what if minted on polygon instead if Ethereum network on polygon network? That is the question now. बट ठीक आहे, याने बऱ्यापैकी चांगली क्लॅरिटी दिली. सो मुव्हिंग ऑन. ओके, ही थोडी मोठी वेबसाईट आहे, ट्युटोरियल आहे, पण नंतर बघू. मिंट हे आपण आत्ताच पाहिलं. ठीक आहे, आय थिंक एवढंच आहे त्याचं.
Hey guys, what's going on? This is Atha. We are back with
बिल्ड वेब read the blocks. Let's check it.
If you create and sell an NFT of the royalties, and after these are the development dependencies that you're going to find in most hot project. So we have hot itself, ether is to here we're going to use, that's where you call the transaction fee for each royalty, then which amount of token we're going to pay royalties by using your sales. It's also possible to build a system of long-term passive income for each future sales. In this video, we're going to build an NFT with built-in royalties by using Solidity. If you are new here, I'm Julian, and on EtherBlocks, I teach blockchain development.
Yeah, this is a good angle actually. की नॉर्मल मिंटिंगमध्ये आपल्याला रॉयल्टी नाही मिळणार. सो गुड पॉइंट्स नोटेड, नोटेबल पॉइंट्स. Standard smart contract comes without royalty support.
So let's dive into the code of our royalty NFT. So I'm not going to explain what's a basic NFT, but we were going to focus on the royalties feature. And the basic idea is that every time someone transfers the NFT to someone else, this person will pay some money to the artist that originally created the NFT. So here, this is the code of our project in the GitHub repo of EtherBlocks. And this time I've used the hot framework. It's becoming more and more popular. So first, let's have a quick look at the dependencies of the project in package.json. So here we're going to use open Zeppelin contracts for the ERC20 of the royalties. And after, these are the development dependencies that you're going to find in most hot project. So we have hot itself. Ether is to communicate with the blockchain. That's basically an alternative to Web3. These three dependencies are for testing, and this one is to connect ethers to hot. Okay, so let's go back to the root folder. We're gonna go first to the contracts folder. So in a hot project, that's where you put your smart contract. And here we're going to go in nft.sol. So we're going to use the latest version of 3T 0.8.6, and we're going to import the ERC721 implementation of Open Zeppelin. as well as the interface of ERC20 in order to manipulate ERC20 for the royalties. And so we declare our NFT smart contract here, and we make it inherit from ERC721 of OpenZeppelin so that we quickly create our 721 token, and we define a few variables. First, the address of the artist who created the NFT, then the address of the token used for the transaction fee for each royalty, then which amount of token we're going to pay in each royalty, and here a mapping of addresses to Boolean values. That's going to be a list of addresses that don't need to pay the royalty fees, like the artist, for example. And so here in the construct addresses to Boolean values, that's going to be a list of addresses that don't need to pay the royalty fees, like the artist, for example. And so here in the constructor, so that's the function that is called when we deploy the smart contract, we pass as argument the address of the artist and the detail for the royalties, so the address of the token and the amount. And here we call the constructor of ERC721, we pass the name of the NFT, then the symbol of an NFT, and after we're going to instantiate different values, so the address of the artist, transaction fee token, transaction fee amount. Then we put the artist in excluded list mapping. So for example, we can add addresses of exchanges. And here, security check, we make sure that only the artist is able to call this function. Otherwise, anybody can exclude themselves. And so here with the same function, we can add or remove someone. So you add someone by passing true here, and you remove someone by passing false. And after we're going to remove function, otherwise security check, we make sure that only the artist is able to call this function. Otherwise, for example, if you have your own logic to update the excluded list mapping. So for example, we can add addresses of exchanges. And here, security check, we make sure that only the artist is able to call this function. Otherwise, anybody can exclude themselves. And so here with the same function, we can add or remove someone. So you add someone by passing true here, and you override the transfer function of ERC721. So this function transfer from, save transfer from, and its variant here with another set of arguments. These three functions are already defined in the ERC721 implementation of OpenZeppelin, but we are going to override them to put the royalty logic, and we can do this because they are declared as virtual in OpenZeppelin. So in order to override them, basically we define the same function signature, so the sending address for a transfer, the recipient, and the if you create and sell an NFT from passive income for each future, we specify the from, so we have a testing is the equivalent of web3.eth.get accounts. And so we are going to transfer the NFT between the artist and the owner and do our test like this. And so here we get the token contract. So in Truffle, this is equivalent to artifacts.require. And after we deploy the token that will be used for the royalties, we wait for it to be deployed. And so at this point, the admin address has 1000 token, and then we're going to send 500 token to owner 1 and another 500 to owner 2. And after we get the NFT contract, we deploy it, and for the arguments we pass the address of the artist, the address of the token, and the transaction fee amount, that is one token basically. And after we have our first test, so here we're going to test that he transferred the NFT and he paid the royalties. So we define a couple of variables, the owner of the NFT, the token balance of the sender, and the token balance of the artist to test the royalties. So here we connect our NFT pointer to the artist. So that means this is going to be the artist that will sign this transaction. So in Web3, you use the from field when you send a transaction, when you want to send, when you want to change the sender, but with Ether, you have to do this. Then we're going to transfer the NFT from the artist to owner 1, and we specify the token ID, so that's 0, because a single NFT contract can have several NFT inside. And after we check that the NFT was transferred, and so for that, we call the owner of function on the NFT contract. So this is defined by the ERC721 implementation of OpenZeppelin. We specify the token ID, and we expect the owner of the NFT to be owner 1. And after we're going to do a transfer from token from owner 1 to owner 2, and this time we're going to test the royalties as well. So we didn't test the royalty before because the artist is in the excluded list. So it's not supposed to pay royalties, and that makes sense because the artist is not going to pay royalties to himself in this case. So here we connect the token to owner 1, and we're going to approve the NFT smart contract to spend the royalties. After we connect the NFT object to owner 1, we call transfer from, so from owner 1 to owner 2 for the token ID 0. And after we read the value for the owner of the NFT, and we also get the balance for the sender of the NFT, so that's owner 1. And we also want to get the token balance of the artist. And so first we expect the NFT to have been transferred to owner 2, and we also expect the royalties to have been paid. So here the sender, initially it had 500 token, it paid 1 token for the royalties, so now it should have 499, and for the artist it had 0 token to begin with, so now it should have 1 token. Okay, and next test, we're gonna make sure that we don't pay royalties if we are in the excluded list. So first we transfer the NFT from the artist to owner 1, and here we're going to check that the balance of the artist is 0, so nothing was taken from the artist and nothing was sent to the artist. And after, we're going to add owner 1 to the list of excluded addresses, so owner 1 is not supposed to pay the royalties in this case. Then we connect the NFT object to owner 1, we transfer from owner 1 to owner 2, and then we're going to test that the token balance of the sender and of the artist are unchanged. So for the sender, it should remain at 500 token, and the artist is supposed to not have received anything. All right, so next we're going to test an unhappy path. So you should not transfer an NFT if we don't have enough royalties. So first here we're going to transfer the NFT from the artist to owner 1, and after we're going to transfer from owner 1 to owner 2, but without enough token to pay for the royalties. So here we connect the token object to owner 1, and owner 1 is going to transfer all of his token to owner 2, so that in the end his balance is 0 and he doesn't have enough to pay for the royalties. And so here we approve the token to be spent by the NFT contract as if we had enough token. After we connect the NFT to owner 1, and here we are going to try to call transfer from owner 1 to owner 2, but it's going to revert because it's going to hit the required statement of ERC20. And so this is the reason of the failure in ERC20. ERC20 transfer amount exceeds balance. And so you can see that with hat you can test transaction failure very easily with this notation, with revert with here. And so here